Let's go to our personality profile for the week. And guess what? Today we have the Erelu of Lagos, Her Royal Highness Abiola Dosumu. If you want to know everything about her, then check this out.
The Erelu of Lagos, Her Royal Highness Abiola Dosumu, commands a lot of respect, not only on the social scene in Lagos, but in Nigeria at large. A woman of influence, sophistication and panache, Erelu, as she is fondly called, has been celebrating the traditional institution as the top traditional title holder in Lagos for the past 43 years. Born into the royal family of Dosumu of Lagos Island, Erelu had her early education in Kano, Lagos and Oyo State. She worked briefly at the Federal Ministry of Justice before traveling to London, where she went to earn a degree in business administration. She welcomed us into her Victoria Island residence with so much delight. Her beauty is surprisingly still imposing for a woman who turns 70 in a few weeks. It wasn't difficult to miss she was in high spirit ahead of her 70th. She lets us into her world, her achievements, her joy, pain, and how she weathered the storms of life for the past 70 years. So, for a start, I asked how she feels about being famous as a socialite.
I became very visible because I was working. I was representing what I stand for. As Erelu Kuti, you get to participate in a whole lot of activities that are more duties than actually socializing.
Like way back in 1968, you know, if I think I should be correct with the date,
yeah.
you were into like business.
Yes.
I think that the business you did, you know, you built a lot of contact and you were able to make your money early, you know, enough in life. Was it hard for you climbing the ladder of success at that time?
Well, I wouldn't say hard because especially Lagos was younger. You had a lot of opportunity. It wasn't as saturated as it is now. So if you had foresight, you are energetic and you're an achiever, you had room to excel. And that was what I did.
While she was climbing the ladder of success, her passion to continue to preserve the Yoruba culture and tradition climbed with her, as she has been celebrating the traditional institution for over 4 decades.
So by the time I now became Erelu, I had my own wherewithal to be able to sustain that position. Because it's a lot of duties, a lot of responsibilities, but it does not come with the wherewithal to actually actualize those responsibilities.
But your love for culture and tradition, where did it come from?
Wherever I go, especially when I started going abroad, as soon as I land in Lagos, I don't even go to my own home first. I go to the palace. I go to Saliku. And unless I hear the drums from the palace that evening, I can't go to sleep. So it was some kind of amazing romance between me and the culture. And I hunger for it so much that if I've been away and I have not heard the sounding of the drums, I do not feel complete. So as soon as I land at the airport, I make a beeline to the palace, to my ancestral home. And I felt, and I think because of that, the Abba said, look, nobody is more deserving to hold this title than this woman.
That would have been, the title was given to you at a very early age.
Yes, yes.
Was the responsibility really heavy for you at that time?
The holders of traditional titles at that time were old. And here was I in my early 20s and I had to deal with old men. In fact, they were quite skeptical. They were almost against it, that, oh, you know, she's too young, she will bastardize the whole system, and you know,
she may not only understand,
and she would not understand, and somebody who's lived abroad and all that, she will bastardize the tradition and all that. What they didn't realize that I was more fastidious than they were, and in fact, what I did was brought a whole lot of discipline into the system. They were old and all that, but there were certain things you do not expect revered chiefs like those to do in public. And they were doing it because there weren't really some hard and fast rule, even if they knew they couldn't do it. So all of that, I had to bring them online. And at the end of the day, they were beginning to wonder, well, I don't know, you know, maybe she's some old woman in a casket, in the body of a young woman.
As the Erelu of Lagos, she also helps us understand what the role entails.
As Erelu Kuti, of course, you're supposed to be the chief confidant of the traditional ruler. So you advise on several things, cultural things, social things, you know, of course. And one of the main things is to champion the cause of women, head of associations, various associations and all that. But for me in particular, as I said, I was able to straighten out the traditional institution of Lagos as it concerns practitioners.
All right, let's, you know, leave culture a bit. In a few weeks, you'll be celebrating your 70th birthday. Yes. Congratulations, by the way.
Very much.
Okay, you make 70 look so graceful, so beautiful, that one can hardly tell you're 70. How do you really feel with this new age?
I feel good. I feel wonderful. And, you know, especially when people look at me and they think she's a young girl, so I feel quite proud now that I'm 70. Yeah. And so I now can say I belong to the group of the elders of this country. Though some people still don't take me seriously, but I am 70. There's nothing they can do about that. So it feels good. Apart from few aches and pains of age, I still feel...
That doesn't really show them.
I still feel, you know, like I felt 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm still raring to go. I still want to add value to my environment. I still want to learn and add value to my own life. I still want to do whatever I'm able to do.
70 years on earth. You've had your high moments, low moments, and you know, you also have your, you know, fair share of negative press. How does that affect you?
I had a whole lot of negative, unnecessary, motivated ill press, which were mostly uncalled for. But because the subjects of that experience, and I use subject because it seems like it was one problem that kept being recycled over and over and over. But I knew the truth. And when you know the truth, and the people around you know the truth, so if people are out there fantasizing, it really doesn't affect you. You are at peace with yourself. But you know, when it goes on, and you are repeating, not even coming up with some new story, the same old thing, then it begins to bother you about the meanness of people against other people. And you wonder how misguided these people. So it's more of pain for them that they're so misguided, and I wish somebody can straighten them out. In fact, a lot of people will capitalize on the rift between us. When he died, not even one single obituary from those people. Not one. And not one of them actually fought for him. Despite the fact that his last wish was to be brought back to Nigeria and buried in Lagos, not one of them fought for him to be brought home, for his last wish to be actualized, or to even remember him, or to even sympathize with the family. I didn't see it in any media. Despite all the clamoring over the years of being on his side against me, nobody.
Looking back, do you think, if knowing what you know now, would you have done something differently to make your marriage work at that time?
Yes. Yes, in a way, in the sense that one was very young. You know, my first husband, we were more or less age group, but the marriage didn't last more than about 3 years. He had a road accident and died. So when I got married again, I married somebody who was a few years older. And so I wasn't mature enough for that age bracket. So with hindsight, I had a fantastic relationship. But I think what I lacked was maturity to handle all the storms, to weather the storms of life that came along. Because I think with maturity and a lot more patience, one would have been able to weather some of the issues, you know.
Okay, after that, did you ever consider remarrying again?
I could not even imagine a relationship with somebody else. But I think with time, it became more of a rebellion. Like, come on, get off my case, and I can make another life. So, of course, I did try. But, you know, I think once you've met the love of your life, no matter how many times you try, at the end of the day, you chicken out. And I think that's it. Because if I tell you that it didn't cross my mind, I would not be telling the truth.
All right, Ma, you are someone that a lot of people who know you know that you can never be caught wearing any other color than white. But my question is, you've been able to keep it fashionable, elegant, stylish, just with one color. How do you do it? It must really be difficult.
Not really. You know, I dress for me. I don't care about what's current. But whatever motivates me, whatever I believe I will look good in, I will wear it. So, and that's when you have fertile imagination. You keep varying it, you know, just adding your own little touch here and there, so that even you are not bored, not to talk of people looking at you.
That's it. So, but I must say because a lot of people go like, wow, just one color, it must really be difficult. But anyway, let's move on. How do you relax and unwind, really?
I love being with my grandchildren. They're just such fun. And so sometimes they have the calendar and they say, we're going to the zoo tomorrow, we're going to picnic at the park. Such wonderful things. But in my own privacy, I love music. And I play a lot of music. And I will dance off all night, even till now, if I have a chance. So, but sometimes, you know, in public, you have to...
You know, watch
You have to control yourself and comport yourself.
Yeah.
But really, if I have the opportunity, I love dancing and I love music.
I would really love to see you dance though.
Oh, I love to dance. You'd be surprised.
Her dream is a united and developed Nigeria, and she hopes to continue to use her voice and fame to effect positive change.